Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Henley Field for Game 2 of the 2016 FCSAA State NJCAA Region 8 Tournament. We have one game in the books. Gulf Coast State College defeated Broward College 5-3 in a great game with a lot of drama and big plays and home runs. All sorts of action in that first game. Hopefully this game will live up to it. You do have the defending national champions on the field today. Northwest Florida State College against St. John's River State College, the runners-up in the Mid-Florida Conference. Northwest Florida State had to qualify as a wild card team. They defeated State College of Florida Manatee back on May 2nd to advance to this 10-team tournament. Starting lineups for you. We've got for the visitors from St. John's River. Leading off, playing second base, number 6, Omar Villeman. Batting second, the shortstop, number 3, Nick Owens. Batting third, the third baseman, number 23, Hunter Alexander. Batting fourth, the left fielder, number 20, Alec Dowell. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 44, Nick Kozlowski. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 2, Wes Weeks. Batting seventh, the center fielder, number 10, Matthew Rhodes. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 7, Harlan Harris. And batting ninth, the first baseman, number 17, Cole Perry. The pitcher for St. John's River today is number 22, Andy Tolkien. Tolkien, a 6'2" sophomore. And he comes in with a .394 ERA and 9-1 record, 80 strikeouts and 89 innings pitched. Now the starting lineup for Northwest Florida State College. Leading off, playing center field, number 10, Mac Hathcock. Batting second, the left fielder, number 37, Hunter Tackett. Batting third, the catcher, number 23, Handsome Monica. Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 25, Sean Feltner. Batting fifth, the third baseman, number 13, Taylor Lane. Batting sixth, the shortstop, number 4, Mike Salvatore. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 9, Michael Higgins. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 2, Will Luft. Batting ninth, the right fielder, number 12. Well, I don't have a number 12 on here, so let me go. Jaron Pinkney. I believe he's wearing number 12. No, that is number 42. Excuse me. That is number 42. We get copies of the lineups, and I couldn't quite read that number. That's my mistake. Starting pitcher for Northwest Florida State College is number 19, Jarrett Montgomery. Jarrett Montgomery comes in. 2.11 ERA, 3-1. Just 3 games started in 15 appearances. He's got 2 complete games, though. 53 strikeouts and 42 2/3, so apparently he was changed into a starter here late in the season. It seems to be a pretty good call, if you ask me. Some players to watch here in the game. Handsome Monica, which is quite possibly the best name in the entire tournament, first of all. 354, 13 home runs, 11 doubles, 48 RBI. Hunter Tackett, number 37 for Northwest Florida, is batting .441 with 10 home runs, 13 doubles, 58 RBIs. He's slugging a cool .758. On the other side, some big sticks for St. John's as well. We got Alec Dowell hitting .359 with 6 home runs, 42 RBI. Hunter Alexander with 12 home runs, 45 RBI. Omar Villeman leading the way, the leadoff man, at .412 with 3 home runs and 44 RBI, 15 doubles and 4 triples. He is a tough man to get out. He's got a .481 on-base percentage.
Batting ninth, playing first base, number 17, Cole Perry.
And you can hear the PA announcer giving the starting lineups here as we go. Head coach for Northwest Florida, the defending national champions, is Doug Martin, and the head coach for St. John's River is Ross Jones. Assistant coaches for St. John's River, Corey Elasic, Mike Renner, and Logan Fiasco. And the assistant coaches for Northwest Florida
19,
David
Jordan
Weber,
Kennedy.
Anthony Brown, and Chris
Number
Johns.
21, Harrison Hyatt.
So we are just moments
Number
away
25, Daniel Williams.
from first pitch.
Number 26, Ryan Ross.
Two good teams here today. Two teams that, again, will hit the ball and hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Reese Snyder. Number 30, Hunter Jones. Number 32, Trevor Eubanks.
And we've got St. John's River, who's ranked number 9 in the country.
Andrew Williamson.
And they come in with a 40-12 overall record.
Coaches for St. John's River.
Northwest Florida State College,
Number 37,
35-18.
Rick Ross Jones. Number 35, Corey Elastic. Number 31, Mike Brenner. And number 9, Logan Fiasco.
Hunter Tackett's 441 batting average is second in the state. Omar Villeman fourth in the state with a 412 batting average. Handsome Monica's 13 home runs is good enough for second. Hunter Alexander's third with 12 home runs. Tackett's 58 RBIs has him tied for third in the state. Neither one of these teams is going to run a lot. I mean, they'll got a couple guys that will go in motion. Wes Weeks, 21 steals for St. John's River. The rest of the guys are all in single digits. Northwest Florida on the other side has a couple guys with 20 steals. They have 88, so they'll run a little bit more, but it's going to be a select group of guys. They do have 12 with at least one stolen base, so they'll pick their spots, and they will. Coach Doug Martin will put them in motion. Northwest Florida as a team has 67 home runs, so that's one of the reasons maybe you don't run a whole ton, 54 home runs for St. John's River. And Northwest Florida, again, they play in the Panhandle, so you're talking about a very, very tough conference, top to bottom. Even teams like Pensacola State and Tallahassee that aren't here are very talented, very, very talented. And they would compete in any conference in this country. But they run up against teams like Chipola College and Gulf Coast and the defending national champions, Northwest Florida. And it just makes those 18 losses, you look at it and you say, hey, 18 losses, but 67 home runs, and all these stats jump off the page. And it's because they're playing competition that is equal or better on certain days. And it's the same thing with the Mid-Florida Conference for St. John's River. St. John's River, they've got the number one team in the country in their conference, Santa Fe College, who only has 7 losses this year, which is the least amount in the entire nation. So that's a team that St. John's had to play 4 times, and Saints were able to get the better of them 3 of those times. Also got Seminole State, who's a talented team, in Daytona, and again, the list goes on. College of Central Florida, a team that's here. So the Mid-Florida and the Panhandle are the 2 teams that have 3 representatives. We are now going to have, I believe, the national anthem. Let's see.
All right, let's play ball.
Oh, we're playing ball. They did the national anthem before the first game. So they said, let's play some baseball. We'll step away. I'll step away at least for 1 second. and grab a drink of water, and then we'll be back with first pitch between St. John's River State College and Northwest Florida State. We are ready for first pitch. And Andy Tolkien in there on the outside corner to Matt Hathcock. And they had us thrown off because they had Northwest Florida as the home team for a good majority of the pregame, and then they flipped it on us right at the last second. So Northwest Florida, the visitors, St. John's River, the home team. 1-1 to Hathcock, first batter of the game. That's a high chop. That's going to be a tough play. The shortstop, though, comes and gets it very nicely. He was aggressive and came after it. Nick Owens, nicely played. You cannot wait back on one. If you wait back on it, he's safe. Without question, that's a hit if he waits back. He came immediately in on it, made an aggressive play, was able to take it on that first hop instead of having to play a short hop, and then made a nice, strong throw. Nick Owens, 6 foot, 170-pound shortstop from Charlotte, North Carolina. Went to Charlotte Christian. First pitch from Tolkien, a strike. To one of the leading hitters in the state. Swing and a miss. In fact, Hackett, number 2 in the state in hitting at .441 behind Ross Applin, who was the state player of the year out of Seminole State College. Seminole State not in the tournament. So of the players in the tournament, Tackett, the leading batting average. His average just went down slightly after a strikeout by Andy Tolkien. And Tolkien has come out throwing strikes and has his first strikeout. Now Handsome Monica. And you can tell what his parents thought about him when he was born. With a name like that. That is a great name. 13 home runs. There's a home run swing. Good bat speed from Monica. Just whips that thing through the zone. Pitch outside. One pitch up and away to Monica. That one's in there for a strike. So a 2-2 pitch coming to Monica. The first two batters, first Hathcock grounded out to short. Tackett struck out swinging on 3 pitches. That one hit to the right side and through. Base hit. Just hit it too hard. It went under the glove of the second baseman, Omar Villeman. Well, that'll give the Northwest Florida batters a little bit of confidence. Monica did a good job going with the pitch. They're probably going to keep the ball in the outer half against him. You don't want to let him pull it. It's 325 down the line, a little bit shorter than it is out in right field. It's 330 down the right field line, 285 to the gaps. Excuse me, that'd be really short. 385 to the gaps and 405 to dead center. It was playing a little bit shorter because of the wind in the first game, but there is not much to speak of right now. It was blowing out to center field in game 1. Now a flagpole out there, the flag is just kind of laying there. There's a strike. Well, we're about 40 minutes behind schedule. Maybe these pitchers will carve it up and make up some time. They're not concerned with that. They're concerned about winning. Winning this first game is key. It's not necessary because it is a double elimination tournament here at the NJCAA Region 8. The winner will advance to the JUCO World Series in Grand Junction, Colorado. And if you've never been and your team qualifies, go. Telling you, it's unbelievable. Was fortunate enough to go in 2009 with Santa Fe College, and it was quite the experience. Coach Harry Tholen, a Hall of Famer, kept trying to tell us how great it was going to be, and it actually exceeded the expectations. And I know Coach Doug Martin in Northwest Florida, I'm sure his players and coaches would probably echo that sentiment. About 12,000 people come to the games. The whole city just eats it up. That ball taken by the shortstop Owens. He'll step on the bag. He made 2 nice plays on high hops in that inning. And Northwest goes quietly. 1 hit, 1 left on. No runs, no errors. We'll head to the bottom half of the first. St. John's River, top of the order, due up. Omar Villeman, Nick Owens, and Hunter Alexander. Back at Henley Field in Lakeland, Florida. Beautiful Henley Field. Historic. Actually registered with the United States Historic Places. They broke ground in 1922. Finished it up in 25. Played the first game. The Cleveland Indians actually played games here from 25 to 27. Some greats came through here. Some Yankee greats. Lou Gehrig to name one. And then the Tigers had some spring training here. They took some time off during World War II and then came back through 67. And then there's been a number of teams, minor league and independent league teams that have played through here. The single A Detroit Lakeland Flying Tigers, I should say, are playing their games currently this year because Joker Marchant Stadium is undergoing a facelift, a very, very nice facelift. That place is going to be unbelievable. It underwent renovations back in 2002, and they are renovating it once again here now in 2016, so 14 years later. I guess it's better than what they're doing to Turner Field. The place has been there about 20 years, and they're ripping it down and putting a new stadium in. That one's slapped out to left field, and that's what Omar Villeman does. And you can hear the large contingency of St. John's River fans here today. Omar Villeman knows how to get on base. He's 4th in the state in batting average. Came in hitting .412. He's raised that up a little bit.
Brings up the shortstop, number 3, Nick Owens.
And now Nick Owens will bat. Nick Owens made 2 nice plays on big one-hoppers. Very decisive fielder at shortstop. Not much wasted motion. Goes to the ball, makes quick throws. Gets the ball out of his glove cleanly. He takes a strike. Owens hitting .333. That one gets away. Villeman will go to second. There's a lot of space back here. He took a big turn, thought about third base. He'll go back into second. If the ball gets away, it goes a long ways back here to the backstop. Same thing we saw in the first game. A pickoff throw to first. It got away, and the runner went standing into third. There's just huge amounts of space at this field in foul territory, which also, if you're a pitcher, you're okay with that because a ball that hangs up and your outfielder can get to in foul territory is a big plus. It's going to give you a few extra outs maybe in a game. 1-2. Pitch coming to the number 3 batter, Hunter. Excuse me, that's Nick Owens still. I apologize. It is still Nick Owens. 1-2. Hunter Alexander on deck. I looked over and saw number 23, but he is not to the plate yet. Montgomery from the stretch. Good block by Monica behind the plate right there. Already had one wild pitch. Would have been tough for him to stop it. Got all the way to the backstop. Villeman strolled into second. Took a big turn, thought about going to third, but with nobody out in the first inning, he did the right thing and went back into second. Third base coach Corey Elasic over there, ready to send him, and I think he's going to. He is going to send him. The throw will be cut off, and they had a chance at him at first if it would have been cleanly caught by the cutoff man, but back-to-back hits has St. John's River on the board first, 1-0. Nice piece of hitting by Nick Owens. A single, a wild pitch, and a single. And 1-0, just like that. Handsome Monica will go out and talk to Montgomery. Jarrett Montgomery out of Indianapolis, Indiana, went to Lawrence Central. Well, if we've got anybody watching in Indiana, we appreciate you tuning in. It's a beautiful state. More known for its basketball, but Jarrett Montgomery says we know how to play baseball there too. Pitch off the inside corner for a ball. Hunter Alexander, the big stick, big home run hitter in the St. John's lineup with 12 home runs. Low and away, ball 2. Throw over, gets away, and there's one we're talking about. And the first baseman short-armed it. He's going to go into third easily. And maybe Elasic holds him up. I mean, that's, I guess, an error on the pitcher, but the first baseman didn't make much of an attempt to catch that one. He didn't really extend his arm. I don't know. So they will give an error to the pitcher, and the ball was never touched, so they don't really have much of a choice. It's got to be on the throw. But that's the second time now in back-to-back games we've seen an errant throw to first that has resulted in a 2-base error. So you got to think twice before you check the runners. Risk or reward. How often do you pick somebody off? And I know you use it as part of your strategy to keep runners close and get the timing of the batter off. And there's all sorts of different reasons you throw over to first base. But really, if you're not going to make those throws, you are potentially costing yourself a game. And it's only the first inning, but this could turn into a big one for St. John's. They already have a run on the board. Now they've got a runner at third with nobody out. And they are threatening to try to open this thing up. So an error on the pitcher, 2-base error. We'll break up the mound meeting. Well, St. John's is a dangerous, dangerous team. They've been that way since Ross Jones took over. Won 3 Mid-Florida Conference championships. They didn't win it this year, but they had won the previous 3. They had the #1 team in the country to contend with in their conference, Santa Fe Saints. That makes things difficult. See, the Saints play tonight at 7 against Eastern Florida State College. Coming up after this game, if I can get my Central Florida, College of Central Florida and St. Petersburg College. There's ball 4. Runners on the corners.
Brings up the left fielder, number 20, Alec Dow.
Got Sarah Shira I think I've called you Aaron for like the entire last game. And now I have to shake my head in disgust at myself for doing that. Sarah Shira on the camera doing a wonderful job for us. Tyler Allen on the controls. Also, of course, want to make sure we thank Kelly Warren, the president of the FCSAA, who makes all this kind of stuff tick. Bing Tyus, who helps put this tournament on, the AD over there at Polk. Bill Hamilton, the AD at Pensacola, who is the CAA chair. Lots of people going to making this thing happen. Shannon Follett over at the Flying Tigers, because the Flying Tigers are still running this tournament despite the fact that it's at Henley. They are in charge of most of it, the maintenance, the field maintenance, the concession stand, all that kind of stuff. Pitch outside, now 1-2. Also, Florida Southern was very gracious in letting us in last night. That was a huge key to us being up and running at 10 a.m. this morning, because they weren't going to let us in until 7 this morning, which, you know, it's understandable. No one's going to be here until 7 o'clock to start getting the field ready. But we would not have had enough time to run all the cable that we needed and all that. So a special thank you to the Florida Southern Athletic Department for really giving us no trouble at all. I mean, literally just said, come in and do what you got to do. And the thing is, it was during a game. They were playing their last regular season game of the season against St. Leo's. And we stayed out of their way. They stayed out of ours. And it was a win-win for us in that case. So thank you. That pitch on the outside corner, nice spot by Montgomery for the strikeout. Alec Dowell not happy with the call, but that's a good pitch right on the outside corner. Dowell, a .359 hitter who doesn't strike out very often, goes down looking on that one. So 1 out. Runners still at the corners for Nick Kozlowski. .352 hitter, 3 home runs, 34 RBI. Offers at that one. 1-1. Kozlowski out of Jacksonville, Florida, 6'1", 225. That pitch tapped up the middle and stepped on the bag. Over, double play. Northwest Florida escapes, allowing just 1 run in the inning. So we will head to the second. Due up for Northwest Florida, Lane, Salvatore, and Higgins. We'll be right back. Scott Jamieson here from Henley Field. Sarah Shira on the camera. Tyler Allen on the controls. Tapped foul by the first batter of the inning for Northwest Florida State College, Taylor Lane, sophomore from Chesapeake, Virginia. He did go to IMG Academy down in Bradenton. Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch from Tolkien. Tolkien allowed a single to Handsome Monica in the first inning, but was able to get 2 ground outs to short and a strikeout. Swing and a miss. Slider diving away and another strikeout, the second one of the game. Swinging that time, as was the first one on Tackett. And that'll bring number 4, Mike Salvatore, to the plate.
Number 4, Mike Salvatore.
Salvatore, the shortstop. Freshman from Ewing, New Jersey. They're from all over on the Northwest Florida roster. Let's see. Trying to find a player from Florida. There's one, Fort Walton Beach. Got a couple guys from Buchholz High School in Gainesville. And Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma, Illinois, New Jersey, Louisiana, the Bahamas, Indiana, Tennessee, a couple players from Georgia. So Doug Martin goes and gets them. Really lets me know how old I am, too, when I look down and I see a player on the team from back when I worked in an after-school program back in Gainesville who was in 2nd grade when I started working there. Ben Koff on the roster here. That one tapped. That's going to be... Got him at first base. What a play. He did not get down the line as quickly as I thought he was going to. May have stumbled a little bit coming out, and a tremendous defensive play
Brings up the designated
to
hitter,
get that
number
one.
9, Michael Higgins.
Was that the pitcher? I think that was the pitcher. I don't know if that was the pitcher or the catcher. We'll find out here in a second. I looked down at my sheet, and, of course, somebody picked it up and threw it. And I was looking at first when that happened to see if he was going to get him, and he got him by half a step for the out. So St. John's looks like they haven't taken 3 weeks off like most of these teams have. Teams were playing some scrimmages and playing some other games. But for the most part, these teams were done playing April 22nd, 23rd, around there. Northwest Florida did play their playoff game on May 2nd, so they had a very highly competitive game about 2 weeks ago. But a lot of these teams, again, they might have had a scrimmage here or there in between. Spins one inside for a ball, 1-2. This is the designated hitter, Michael Higgins from Stillwater, Oklahoma. That one's hit to short. Owens across for the out. 1-2-3 inning. We're going to the bottom of the second. Due up for St. John's, Wes Weeks, Matthew Rhodes, and Harlan Harris. We'll be back right after this. Wes Weeks leading off, and we're going to have a special guest here in a couple minutes. We're going to grab some headphones, and Wes Weeks drills one to short on a one hop. We're going to have to get it across the diamond because Weeks can run. A nice play and a nice throw by the shortstop for Northwest Florida State College. We're going to get some headphones plugged in, and we're going to have Kelly Warren, who is the
number 10, Matthew Rhodes.
Excuse me, she is the head of the FCSAA. So we'll get her on here in a second. Tyler's going to get things all figured out for us, and we'll have her come on the air and tell us a little bit about the Florida College System Activities Association, because athletics is a big portion of it, but there's a lot more to it. And we'll have Kelly tell us about that. Trying to find the headphone splitter. That one hit out to center field. Center fielder going back on it and makes a running play for the second out.
Next batter is the catcher.
Well, Tyler forgot the, no, I'm kidding. It wasn't Tyler. I forgot to grab the splitter, so we'll have to go get that. So false alarm, but Kelly Warren will be joining us, and you won't want to miss that. It'll be a good, again, you know, the FCSAA does wonderful things for student athletes, so many of whom have gone on to the next level. A lot of players in Major League Baseball, professional basketball, have professional softball, and have gone on to four-year schools and really made their mark. And so Kelly will tell us a little bit about how much further that actually expands. There are more components to the FCSAA than meets the eye, than just the athletics portion of it. Right down the middle, strike three from Montgomery. Looking goes Harlan Harris. So that will finish off the second inning. We're going to go to the third. We're going to try to go get that splitter so we can get Kelly on the air. We'll be back right after this. Back here at Henley Field in Lakeland, Florida. Scott Jamieson with you. First pitch, a ball from Andy Tolkien. That one shot through the right side and a base hit. for number 2, Will Luft. Second baseman singles to start the third inning. And Northwest Florida's got something going here in the third. It's been tough sledding against Andy Tolkien, who had just given up 1 hit, 1 base runner in the first 2 innings. Now the number 8 hitter Luft on base with a single. And that'll bring up number 42, Jaron Pinckney. Gotta be careful with those throws over to first. You can't avoid them because you have to be able to throw over and keep runners close and keep them honest. And just gotta be careful with all that space out there on both sides. Again, it's not going to stop them, obviously, from throwing over, but maybe in the back of your mind when you throw one and it gets loose and a guy goes to third and actually thinks about going home. That's how much space there is out there. Pitch on the inside corner for a strike to start off Pinckney. Throw over to first. Nothing doing. That one hit out to right field. Right fielder. Sorry, I had the wrong. Apologize, got the wrong screen up there. That was a fly out to right field. My apologies on that.
Next batter is the center fielder, number 10, Matt Hathcock.
And now the leadoff man, Matt Hathcock, who grounded out to short, will bat. Pitch low and away for ball 1. Runner at first and 1 out. A 1-0, 1 out. Runner at first. That's Luft, Will Luft. He singled. We're back to the top of the order. And Mac Hathcock takes a strike. Hathcock hitting .296, 4 home runs, 24 RBI. Hit to short, nasty hop, what a play, and an unbelievable double play. We're going to try to get you an instant replay of that because Nick Owens just made a spectacular stop and turn. And as I said before, there is zero wasted motion with Nick Owens in the way he plays shortstop. Tyler's going to cut this up, and before we go to break, we're going to take a quick look at this. Here it is. Sharply hit to shortstop. Owens, unbelievable play. And then great camera work by Sarah Shira all over that one. She's ahead of the play for us, and you see both outs and the stop. 3 for 3. That's a good day at the ballpark, Sarah. Nice job there. We'll be back right after this. You're watching the FCSAA tournament right here on YouTube. We are back at Henley Field in Lakeland, and want to say hi to my son Ryan. He's watching. Hey, Rye Guy. Thanks for watching. He'll be 2 in June. Happy birthday to my son Scotty. He turned 4 yesterday. And he's going to have a Ninja Turtle Batman party. He couldn't decide on one or the other, so it is going to be a Ninja Turtle Batman party next weekend. And he is excited about that. And little Rye Guy will be 2 in June. So, hey, Ryan, thanks for watching. First pitch from Montgomery to the leadoff man for St. John's River. This is the number 9 hitter, number 17, Cole Perry. That was a ball. Second pitch down low. Pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Swing and a miss. Full count, 3-2. And there's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Strikeout for Montgomery. That's his third. First 2 looking, and now back to the top of the order, and Omar Villeman.
Brings up number 6, the second baseman, Omar Villeman.
Villeman 1 for 1. He singled and then scored a run on a single by Nick Owens. First pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 pitch coming. Well, just must have been a little bit inside. Pretty good spot. Just off the plate. Pitch down low now, 2-1. Well, we had a great first game. Gulf Coast State College defeated Broward 5-3. Swing and a miss from Villeman. Two-two pitched coming to Villeman. That's down low. Good eye from the leadoff man, the second baseman. He's already 1 for 1. Hits over 400. Also has a little bit of pop. 4 home runs. So you can't sleep on the power of Villeman. The left fielder shaded way towards center. They were shaded for him to go the other way the whole time. They were not expecting him to pull the ball. And he grounds out to second base.
Next batter is number 3, the shortstop, Nick Owens.
Nick Owens will now bat. Owens drove in a run and has played sparkling defense at shortstop. Nick Owens, a .333 hitter, a couple home runs, 23 RBI. That one hit into the hole, base knock. Owens is 2 for 2.
Brings up the third baseman, number 23, Hunter Alexander.
A 2-hit day already for Owens. He's got an RBI as well. Up and towards his face. Just one that got away from the pitcher there. Alexander right back in there. Alexander walked back in the first. Flies one out to right. The right fielder coming on for it and makes the catch. That was Pinckney out in right field. And St. John's goes down without scoring a run, leaves a runner on base. And we are headed to the top of the fourth. Due up for Northwest Florida State College. Tackett, Monica, Bettner. We'll be back. And we're back here at Henley Field in Lakeland and joined by a very special guest. Can you hear me, Kelly? All right. Well, get the microphone a little bit closer there for her. There we go. Kelly, thank you for joining us. Kelly Warren, president of the FCSAA, and I was talking a little bit before we had to go get this splitter here so we could both hear. The FCSAA, a lot of people, especially fans of baseball and basketball, volleyball, there's so many different sports, but there's a lot more to the FCSAA than just athletics. Can you tell the people out there a little bit about what you do and what there is to offer that not only student athletes but also the rest of the student population at the schools?
Sure. There are actually 6 academic divisions in addition to the athletics division. We have student government, brain bowl, forensics, publications, music, and theater.
Well, there you go. That's, again, many different options beyond athletics. Of course, student athletes are, there's so many good things that are happening for student athletes, so many that are going on to 4-year schools, but the same can be said for participants in the Brain Bowl and forensics and all that kind of stuff. There are scholarship opportunities out there. You don't necessarily have to be an athlete. You can come to one of the 2-year colleges in the state of Florida, and you don't have to be a shortstop. You don't have to make plays like Nick Owens is making out there, and you can still have an opportunity to move on, go to University of Florida or Florida State.
Yeah, actually, many of our students in Brain Bowl and forensics are competing at the 4-year college level now. They go to competitions in national tournaments where they have the opportunity to participate against large universities and really do pretty well.
Wow.
So these kids have the opportunity to meet other schools and kind of get involved there and see if they can move forward.
Well, we've had some good games a couple weeks ago at the softball tournament, and they're headed out. I believe they're probably playing now, aren't they?
Their games start Wednesday.
Wednesday, okay. So
18th through the 21st in St. George, Utah.
So we got Chipola College and Florida Southwestern. How about that in their first year going out there? Coach there, a legendary high school coach, and he transitioned that very nicely into some success at Florida Southwestern. And it's nice to see schools adding athletics.
Yeah.
It really is, and especially when they're adding them and they're going after it too. They're not just adding them to have it. Florida Southwestern is trying to win, and they're trying to win right away. So that's a good thing to say. It may not be good. The other coaches may not like it too much, but it's a good thing for the FCSA.
Yeah, they came on in softball and baseball this year, and they'll be bringing on women's basketball and volleyball coming up next year.
And they are the former Edison College.
Edison
That's correct,
Community
right?
College, correct.
So they changed names and
they did not have athletics for about 20 years.
Wow. Well, hopefully some other schools will follow suit. I know Santa Fe College added volleyball a few years ago. Daytona State College added volleyball a few years ago. So there's some things happening with teams adding sports back again and programs being added, which is great.
And starting this fall, we'll have 2 more sanctioned sports. We'll have enough schools to participate in a state tournament in both cross country and in women's soccer.
That is fantastic.
Start this fall.
So who all is adding women's soccer and cross country? Are they adding this year? There's going to be the schools that will make it sanctioned?
Starting this fall. Let me see if I can remember them off the top of my head.
Oh, sorry, I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Daytona, Eastern Florida, Broward, and Polk will all have women's soccer. And cross country, I believe, is also Daytona, Tallahassee, South Florida State College, and Pasco Hernando.
I'll tell you what, that was pretty good for me putting you on the spot right there. You remembered all of them. Well, there's a walk right there to Fettner, so a base runner, and they've been hard to come by here against Andy Tolkien. Well, Kelly, the ultimate prize here that these teams and coaches are playing for is a trip out to Grand Junction, Colorado. And have you had a chance to go out there yet?
I have not. I've been looking forward to an opportunity to go.
I think you need to go.
Yeah.
You deserve to go out there. It is it's an unbelievable experience. And for these student athletes and the coaches, it really is a life-changing type of a thing. With 12, I was telling the listening audience earlier, 12,000 people at the games, and get treated like a big leaguer for about a week. And it's something that when I was there with Santa Fe, they didn't want to leave. Like, we got to go back to Gainesville now, and we don't have people wanting our autographs every corner we turn around. So if you get a chance, I would definitely recommend that you try to get out there and take that. Well, while we were on the air, too, while I had you on here, there's a ball to Nick Owens. Of course, he's going to make the play. Well, before we let you go, I did want to thank one of your assistants, Belinda, who does a fantastic job. She really does. I tried to thank her during the last tournament, too, but Belinda Wheatcroft, I believe.
Belinda Wheatcroft is our assistant in the office.
And she does a great job and does a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff that you don't see, and also Rob Cheney, who runs the website, and Kelly kind of makes all of that click. So, Kelly, thank you for joining us there for this half inning, letting us know. You can always check out the FCSAA Sports if you want to go .com if you want to check that out. Where can they find out information just about the general FCSAA?
The main website is the FCSSA.com.
There you go.
And that tells you about all the different divisions that we have.
So the FCSAA.com.
You can also find us on Facebook and on Twitter.
Yes, please go follow on Facebook, follow on Twitter, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel, please. Kelly, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Well, another inning down for Andy Tolkien, and we'll be back with more. Thank you again to Kelly Warren, president of the FCSAA. She's doing wonderful things. Things are expanding under her watch, and that is one way that you can measure success. And so thank you to Kelly for everything that she does. We'll be right back. Alec Dowell to start things off. Wanted to go ahead and thank Kelly Warren once again. Alec Dowell hit hard. Base hit. So Dowell starts things off on the right foot for St. John's River as they look to try to add to their 1-0 lead. Nick Kozlowski will now bat. Number 5 hitter. He hit into a 6-4-3 double play to end the first inning, just when it looked like St. John's was going to have something big going. Montgomery was able to coax a ground ball out of Kozlowski. Kozlowski takes a ball. And if you'd like to find out more information on the FCSAA, because it does offer more than athletics. I know, obviously, everyone that's tuned in is watching the game because they want to see how their friend or their cousin or their son is doing. but there are other opportunities for the FCSAA. You've got the Brain Bowl and forensics and fine arts and all sorts of stuff that is out there for students, not only student athletes, and chances to get scholarships. As Kelly said, the Brain Bowl teams are competing against four-year colleges, and in some instances they're winning. They're beating University of Florida's and Florida State's and USF and UCF and those kind of schools, and it's really spectacular stuff that our two-year state college system is doing in the state of Florida. That one hit towards second. That'll move the runner over. That might have been what Coach Ross Jones was out there talking to Kozlowski about, and he's clapping. He came out and talked to him for a second. He might have said, son, hit the ball to the right side of the field. We got to move that runner over.
Brings up the right fielder, number 2.
It's something to where we can get him to second base. Productive out. And now he's going to talk to him again. And maybe let him know what he liked about that or didn't. Well, Kozlowski with a productive out to move the runner over to second base. And if you're going to make an out, you want it to be productive. Swing and a foul tip off the catcher, and Monica, that one's smarts. Can't tell where it got him, but wherever it wasn't good. The umpire will take his time, run a new ball out to the pitcher, mosey back, wipe the plate off probably. I hope he'll stop short of doing that, but he will give Monica a second. They'll have the coach will come out and take a look at him. That's a good player behind the plate. They want to make sure he's okay, and obviously that safety is one of the main things for the FCSAA as well. We've got trainers on site. There's a hospital. You may hear some. It's been a while, Tyler, since we've heard a siren. That's a good thing. That's a very good thing. We've only heard 4 today. Ambulances pulling into the hospital that is right across the street. Now, I can see the sign for the hospital from here. So the less times that goes off, the better. That means people aren't getting rushed to the emergency room. But that's another benefit to having it right here if something were to happen. Hospital right there. Again, trainers on site, ready to take care of these athletes. Runner at second base for St. John's. 1 out, 1 strike. That ball driven into left field. Over the head. The left fielder came in on it. It went up over his head. The run is going to score, and a double for Wes Weeks. And Alec Dowell will come home to score. That one was misjudged badly by the left fielder. And an RBI double on the board.
Next batter for St. John's River, center fielder number 10, Matthew Rhodes.
Now Matthew Rhodes will bat. Rhodes flew out to center his first at bat. Got a runner out there in scoring position. That's Wes Weeks. That one hit him. Tried to throw a breaking ball that did not break. And he's had a couple get away from him. And that one again.
The catcher number 7, Harlan Harris.
You're not trying to hit a batter in this situation, that's for darn sure. Tried to spin a breaking ball or throw a slider there that just slipped out of his hand. Hit Rhodes right in the lower back. First baseman playing behind Rhodes, so he'll get a decent lead. With the runner at second. Shortstop fakes in behind him. You can see that there on your screen. First pitch strike. 1 out, runners at first and second. Harlan Harris at bat. The catcher struck out looking in the second. One and one now to Harris. You can hear the St. John's crowd. It's actually a woman with a Viking hat on with the big Viking horns and the locks. I don't know. Maybe they make those for St. John's, or it could be a Minnesota Vikings. Just rip the logo off that and wear it. I applaud her for wearing that. That's That's a true fan there. I feel bad for the people sitting right behind her. Those horns are sticking way up there, but there's a lot of seats, although it's pretty, I'll tell you what, there's a good amount of people here. Hopper to second, one out, and a double play. The second double play turned by the Raiders, and they have once again avoided a big inning. But a run on the board for St. John's River makes it 2-0. Coming up for Northwest Florida in the fifth, Salvatore, Higgins, and Luft. We'll be back. You're watching the FCSAA tournament right here on YouTube. Mike Salvatore to lead off, takes ball one from Andy Tolkien. Andy Tolkien is pitching a whale of a game so far through the first 4 innings. A lot can change, but so far, whoa, almost right on cue. A lot could have changed right there. Thank goodness he got out of the way of that. Man, you think, Tyler, you think his adrenaline's rushing right now? Just a little bit. Holy smokes.
Number 9, Michael Higgins.
Go from being fairly calm out there, collected, to almost having your head taken off will change you really quick. Base knock for Salvatore. And ball one. Whoa. Higgins 0 for 1, grounded out to short. Tolkien would love another ground ball to shortstop right here. Spins it in there for a strike. Owens chomping at the bit to get another one. He has played a spectacular game at shortstop. You can just tell sometimes when you watch a guy, and his fielding percentage, you look at it, it's .917. It's not going to jump off the page at you. He's committed some errors. But you can tell he's a guy that has a lot of potential to grow into be a really good shortstop, maybe even play some second base at the next level, probably handle third base, got a good arm. But he's really at home at shortstop. I'm probably getting sick of hearing it, but he doesn't waste any motion at shortstop. He really makes things happen quick. He makes quick decisions. He thinks ahead. And as a shortstop, you have to be able to think ahead to what you're going to do. What's the play that you're going to make? And you're almost making it in your head before you're actually making the play. This one popped up on the infield. Pitcher tried to call off the first baseman, but pitchers don't usually make those plays, so the first baseman tells him that he's got it. And Perry takes it from there. So a pop out by Higgins.
Brings up the second baseman, number 2, Will Luft.
Now Will Luft will bat. He singled back in the third. Was left, actually, double play into the inning. Pitch on the outside corner to start off Luft for a strike. Luft, a .254 hitter, home run, 15 RBI. St. John's leading 2-0, top of the 5th. That one hit to the right side. Diving stop by Villeman. He'll stand up and make the play. Nicely done by Omar Villeman for the second out. And now it'll be up to Pinckney to try to drive that runner in from second. So what that did do was move the runner up, but if you're St. John's, you're absolutely taking an out right there for the base, especially because it's the second out.
Brings up the right fielder, number 42, Jaron Pinckney.
And now Jaron Pinckney with an opportunity to cut into that 2-0 lead. Pinckney 234 and averaging 124 at bats. He does have 8 home runs, so some pop in the bat of Pinckney. Good quick hands. Oh, and actually went all the way out into the street. Ballpark built right next to the street. It was built in 1922. 1925 is when it was finished, so they kind of built the roads and stuff probably around it after they had it built. And there's probably dirt roads out there. I'd love to see pictures of this place from back then. I don't think our graphic that we have is maybe it at one point was an accurate representation. I think it's a drawing though. Runner at second, 0-1. Ball down. We have our makeshift press box here in the stands with some tables. It's actually been kind of interesting sitting out in the stands. And don't get me wrong, an air-conditioned press box like at Joker Marchant is going to be very nice next year. But this is, different experience. Nothing wrong with different. Swing and a miss, late cut by Pinckney. Comes a 2-2 pitch to Pinckney, runner at second. Swing and a miss. Tolkien gets out of the inning and lets out an emphatic yes after the strikeout. Both pitchers with some enthusiasm today after getting some big outs. And these are big games. Every single one of them is big. And you like to see the emotion out there. And the players respectfully have some respectful emotion. And that's what they've been showing today. And that's always a good thing. We'll be back right after this. Your score after 4.5 innings is 2-0 St. John's River. We'll be right back. Perry now batting to start off the bottom half of the 5th inning for St. John's River, who lead 2-0 over Northwest Florida State College Raiders. Perry struck out swinging back in the 3rd and takes outside on that pitch. Perry playing first base today for the Vikings. Almost said the Raiders. Wrong team. Outside corner strike. Now the count is full. Appreciate you tuning in to this broadcast on YouTube. Be bringing you every game. That one hit to 3rd. Play made, then the throw. A nice stretch over at first base. The throw from Lane over to Fettner, and Fettner stretches to his left. It's one thing about first base. It's a lot harder than it looks, first of all. But you got to wait to stretch till you know where the ball is going to be. A lot of times, especially early on when you're playing first, you want to stretch right away to try to get it. But if the throw's offline, then you have no way of moving to get that ball. That one popped up. Just missed it, got underneath it was Villeman. The center fielder calls off the right fielder and takes it. And quickly, 2 outs. That'll bring Nick Owens to the plate. He's 2 for 2. Knocked in a run in the 1st.
Number 3, Nick Owens.
And singled in the 3rd. So a couple singles for Owens and some sparkling defense at shortstop. That pitch down now, 2-0 from Montgomery to Owens. With nobody on, you're not going to pitch around him, obviously. Nobody on and 2 outs. So he's going to have to give him something here. Don't want to put somebody on for Hunter Alexander. There's a good pitch. Swing and a miss. Owens might have gotten caught guessing right there. That one hit out to right field. 3 for 3. Nick Owens. And he went the other way this time with it.
Next batter is number 23, third baseman Hunter Alexander.
Hunter Alexander will now bat. Alexander walked in the 1st, flew out to right back in the 3rd. And this is a guy you have to be careful with. 12 home runs, a lot of power. Not a high batting average, just hitting 257, but he turned it on towards the end of the year. He was down in the 220s and 230s, had a good end of the season to bump that average up. Swing and a miss, good pitch, down and in to Alexander. Don't want to let him extend his hands. One pitch coming to Alexander, the throw over to first. And you got to be careful, let one of those get away. That's an automatic 2-base error. See a bunch of kids out here at the ballpark today having fun watching a game. He went around on that one. Strike 2. Thought about it. It was way up in the zone. It was too late before he changed his mind. Montgomery reached back for a little extra on that pitch. Out of the dirt, ball 2. Handsome Monica with a nice stop. Handsome Monica out of Manville, Louisiana. St. Paul's High School. That pitch down as well, and now a full count to Alexander. Alec Dowell waiting on deck. He singled and scored in the 4th. And he's the cleanup hitter, so you don't want to really put a runner in scoring position for the cleanup hitter, especially when you got the first 2 outs so quickly. But now Montgomery put himself in a little bit of a tough spot here. Gonna have to throw a strike or something at least close. Runner goes, and the ball is hammered to left field. It's going to get all the way to the fence. A run is going to score. Hunter Alexander is going to go into second with an RBI double, and St. John's River leads 3-0. From 2 outs with nobody on to a run scored. St. John's River has expanded their lead. And there was no doubt he was going to score because he was running on a 3-2 2-out pitch. So we had the running start already. And Alexander made sure he hammered that into the corner for good measure. Well, a 3-0 lead, and Alec Dowell up to bat. But the slow walk of the Northwest Florida coach. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back. We'll see if there's a pitching change or just a discussion. We'll let you know when we return. You're watching the FCSAA tournament right here on YouTube. We are back to the discussion with the pitcher over. First pitch to Dowell. No, that's, yes, Alec Dowell, excuse me. To a Hunter Alexander double. And now Alec Dowell up and 2-0. Dangerous situation for the pitcher, and Monica's going to go out and have a talk with him. He knows right now you don't necessarily have to groove one to Dowell. You do have an open base there. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to walk him. And here comes the 2-0 pitch to Dowell with Alexander out there on second. He doubled in a run. Montgomery got the first 2 outs quickly, and now time called by Dowell. So a little chess match going on here between pitcher and batter. We're here at historic Henley Field in Lakeland, Florida. That one drilled up the middle. Base hit. Throw will come in and be cut off, and back-to-back 2-out hits have St. John's out in front. And that's the danger of getting behind in the count to the middle of the order.
Brings up the designated hitter, number 44, Nick Kozlowski.
Now Nick Kozlowski will bat with a runner at first and a 4-0 lead. Out hitting the Raiders 8-3 are the Vikings. Popped up, should get out of play. No, it won't. Like I said, there's a lot of room over there, and that somehow stayed in. I guess the wind is blowing back out to center. It stays in, so a pop out in foul territory will do it. But 2 runs put on the board by St. John's. They lead 4-0. We're headed to the top of the 6th. Due up for Northwest Florida State College, top of the order, Hathcock, Tackett, and Monica. We'll be right back. Back at Henley Field in Lakeland. We are watching Northwest Florida State College, the defending national champions, and St. John's River State College, the runners-up from the Mid-Florida Conference. And right now, St. John's River with the advantage, 4-0 over the defending national champs. Tyler, I keep seeing everybody with their Yeti cups, and it just keeps reminding me that I forgot to bring my nice insulated cup on this hot day in Lakeland. He did not go around, says the third base umpire. They checked down there. Now 2-0 to Mac Hathcock. Why did I want to call him Matthew? I'm not sure, but Mac Hathcock. That one hit well out to right field. That one's hit very well, in fact. And out of here, home run. Mac Hathcock solo shot for the center fielder. And he got every single bit of that one. And don't go anywhere, folks. This game very, very far from over. There's a reason this team won the national championship. And they've got some players back from that team. They are a team that's not going to quit. They've been there. They've done that. They know how to win. And
the left fielder, number 37, Hunter Tackett.
And now Hunter Tackett will bat. One of the leading hitters in the state. Got that curly blonde hair like my son, just pouring out of the back of my youngest son, Ryan. That one goes behind him, Randy Johnson style. My son has that flowing, blonde, tightly curled locks. My other son, of course, just has straight brown hair. Tackett, a little bit late on that one. 1-1. So a solo home run by Mac Hathcock has them on the board. That one hit out to center. Center fielder Rhodes on it. He makes the catch. So one out. And now Handsome Monica will bat. He would have loved to have had somebody on base. Monica takes strike one. So a 4-1 lead at St. John's River, but a run got back by Mac Hathcock. Monica pops it up. This one may stay in. A lot of room over there. And made that look so easy. Kind of caught it over the shoulder. Very, very nicely done by the first baseman, Perry, who had to run a long ways. And then the wind is kind of swirling, and who knows what it's doing up there.
Brings up the first baseman, number 25.
Way up
Feltner.
in the air. Could be really swirling up there, blowing all sorts of different directions. Feltner now batting. Sean Feltner, number 25 from Apopka, Florida, takes a strike. Well, we appreciate you tuning in, watching on YouTube. Thanks to Kelly Warren, Bing Tyus, Bill Hamilton. Just missed that one. Got underneath it a little bit too much. I'll tell you what. He was not far off from hitting that one into the trees out there. But a good job by Andy Tolkien to fight back after that leadoff home run by Mac Hathcock. And he gets 3 straight outs after that to get out of the inning. And St. John's will retain a 4-1 lead. We'll be back right after this. You are watching the 2016 FCSAA State NJCAA Region 8 Tournament. The winner of this tournament, to be determined Friday or Saturday, will advance to the JUCO World Series in Grand Junction, Colorado. We'll be back. And we're back at Henley Field, historic Henley Field in Lakeland, Florida. 1925 is when Henley Field opened. A lot of big names have come through here and played games at Henley Field. Breaking ball, strike, nice pitch. This is now a different pitcher for Northwest Florida. This is Will Luft, number 2, pitching. That one off the netting, out of play. So Will Luft in to pitch. So it did hit and stay in fair, but as soon as it hits that net, it's out of play. Guess you could still try to make a nice catch. 2-2 pitch. Coming to Wes Weeks. Wes Weeks with an RBI double back in the 4th. and a ground out in the second, so he's 1 for 2. Breaking ball inside. He'll take off the armor, throw it down, and trot to first base for the walk. He's now reached base twice.
Brings up the center fielder, number 10, Matthew Rhodes.
Matthew Rhodes will now bat. Rhodes was hit by a pitch in the fourth, flew out to center in the second. He's 0 for 1. Rhodes pops a bunt up all the way to the screen, trying to get that insurance run. Harlan Harris waiting on deck, and Cole Perry in the hole. Runner goes. And safe. Ooh, looked like he almost came off the bag, but he was able to keep his left hand on. And Wes Weeks with a stolen base. Monica, good pop. The throw, though, he rushed it a little bit. Still almost had him, even with that throw. He might have offered it that. No, he did not. 1-2. Coach Ross Jones shouting out instructions and also asking for the count. He thought it was 2-1. It is 1-2 is the count. Now 2-2. Monica really having to dive on top of baseballs back there. 4-1, runner at second. St. John's looking to add to their lead. Matthew Rhodes at the plate. Rhodes tapper. They've got him hung up. And they tagged him. Oh, and they're going to say he's safe. Wow. We're going to get a replay, obviously, of that for you. I thought he tagged him. It's going to be tough to tell from the replay, no matter how good the camera work was because of this fence here. But, wow, that could end up being a huge mistake for Northwest Florida. Here's the replay right here. And here's the replay right here. Here we go. So they get him in the rundown. He does the right thing. The runner at first advances on to second, does the right thing. Chased him back a little bit too far. I thought he tagged him there. He obviously missed him. Dove in, and call was safe. Oh, tough break for Northwest Florida. I think the second part of the rundown there hung onto the ball a little bit too long. Should have flipped it over because you're not worried about the guy going to second. He's going to take second base. You're just trying to get that runner out. And now Harlan Harris. So a fielder's choice for Rhodes, and then he advanced on the rundown. And Weeks advanced as well. So runners at second and third after a fielder's choice. Harris's job is to hit something into the outfield, something to the right side. Because you're trying to also get that runner at second to third, because if you hit one deep enough to right field, both runners will tag. But both times he's fouled balls off towards left. I'll tell you what, the food looks good over there. They got a gentleman over there grilling, and he has been grilling the whole afternoon. It smells good. It looks good. Plan on coming to the games. They got a great ballpark menu here with all sorts of stuff for you to indulge in. They've, of course, got all the staples: hot dogs, popcorn, peanuts, a whole bit. Hamburgers, chicken. I saw them putting marinated chicken breasts. Swing and a miss. Strikeout. Harlan Harris goes down. Well, you still got to leave the infield in if you're Northwest Florida. You don't have opportunity to double play, so they will. They'll leave the infielders in at the cut of the grass. Breaking ball, strike on the inside corner. Matthew Rhodes at second. Wes Weeks is at third. No runs home yet in this inning. Cole Perry trying to change that. Did not go around. 1-1 the count. Well, Northwest Florida had 13 players that hit a home run. So this game is not going to be over no matter what happens this inning. They can score runs in bunches. Scored 382 runs this season. St. John's River 391. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout. A big strikeout. Back to back. Back to the top of the order, Omar Villeman will bat, and he is a big threat right now because he just knows how to get on base. He's hitting .412 coming in. And a base hit here probably scores 2. They are going on contact with 2 outs. Pitch up, ball 1. Well, you do have a base open with a right-handed batter on deck, so you can be very careful with Villeman here. I wouldn't give him anything to hit. I'd make him fish for something, try to get him to roll over on a ground ball. But, of course, the next pitch is right down the middle, so what do I know? And the coach over there did win, like, what, a national championship or something last year, Tyler? Yeah, I mean, you know, that's it. So he probably knows what he's doing, I'm going to guess. Well, he goes away with that one, so now I'm looking a little bit better. Oh, 2-1. And a fair ball down the line. A double at least. No, that's going to be a triple. That went underneath. That's going to be a double. The ball did. It went out of play. It is actually under the fence. The outfielder cannot go get it, so he will have to go back to second base. He doesn't care. He'll take second base. He knocked in a pair of runs, and, well, like I said, I wouldn't have pitched to him personally. With a righty on deck, with a right-handed pitcher, I would have taken my chances with Owens. Although Owens is 3 for 3, I still probably would have taken my chances with him. Hindsight's 20/20. But Villeman hits right-handed pitching exceptionally well.
The shortstop, number 3, Nick Owens.
So a 2 RBI double, and St. John's River is cooking. Well, you put faith in your pitcher, and sometimes the batter just gets the best of them. And you just got to give a pat on the back to Omar Villeman. Owens breaking ball for a strike from Will Luft. Luft was playing second. Trying to see who's out there at second. Can't see the number right now. We will find out, though. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this mound meeting. And we are back. Fouled off by Owens, who's 3 for 3 today. 2-2 count now with 2 outs. Owens trying to add to the 6-1 lead that St. John's River has built. They've scored 2 here in the 6th. They scored 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 4th, and 1 in the 1st. And lead 6-1. Another one fouled back almost onto the street. Hit the net. They have very high netting here. Just for that reason. Otherwise, you'd have Memorial Boulevard, or whichever street that is out there, Lakeland, getting pelted with baseballs. Wes Weeks, 4 for 4. Excuse me, Nick Owens. That's Nick Owens. I want to give him credit. Nick Owens is having a whale of a day. Couple RBI, a run scored, 4 hits in 6 innings, and really good defense on top of that. So he knocks Villeman in, and it is 7-1 in favor of the Vikings. And the Vikings are taking it right now to the defending national champion, Northwest Florida State College Raiders. First pitch strike from Luft. So at second base, Christian Rivera has come in to play second. So he replaces the pitcher. Luft will stay batting, and I believe Rivera's not going to bat. Three and 1 count now from Luft to Hunter Alexander. Nick Owens, who's 4 for 4, is at first base. Alexander fouls it back. That one hit out into left field and off the fence. A run is going to score. The throw comes in, and Alexander has himself another RBI double. Nick Owens scores, and the score is now 8-1.
Batter is the left fielder, number 20, Alec Dowell.
Alec Dowell will bat with a runner out there in scoring position. The wind has started to pick up. Some mini twisters down there behind where the wind is hitting that small fence area. I'm going to turn our crowd mic off for a little bit because it's picking up. Even though we have a windscreen on it, it's still picking up. The wind has just started. Now it's blowing in, of course. This feels like Gainesville. Just never know which way the wind is going to blow at any given second. Well, Coach Martin's going to come out and have a talk with his pitcher. We'll take a break. We'll be back. You're watching the FCSAA tournament. St. John's leads 8-1 over the defending national champion Raiders. Pitching change for the Raiders. Cameron Sanders now in the pitch. Number 1, 4.12 ERA. The one Achilles heel that Northwest Florida had this year was their pitching, a 4.52 team ERA. Sanders 4.12, he is 4-0. 19 innings, 24 strikeouts. This may be a game that is on Sanders to finish unless Northwest Florida were to start coming back into this game, because you do have to save some pitching. As much as, they could be out after the next game, and you don't want to think ahead too far. You can't burn up 5 or 6 pitchers in a game that, again, it's college baseball. I don't want to use the word over because it's not over. But as a coach, you have to start evaluating these things as the game goes on. You have to start thinking weighing the alternatives of if I start burning through 2 or 3 pitchers and this kind of stuff and we get beat 10-1 or 11-1 or something, was it worth using those pitchers when I can try to let Cameron Sanders, quote-unquote, eat the rest of this game, which could in turn help the team. So Sanders is nice play by Handsome Monica with that wind blowing. He throws his mask away and makes the catch. So Sanders comes in and gets the out. And again, Sanders, he may be the one that Coach Doug Martin needs to try to finish this game for him. Well, he gets a key out there for the Raiders, but they give up 4 runs on 4 hits, and it is now 8-1 heading to the top of the 7th. Northwest Florida is going to send Lane, Salvatore, and Higgins to the plate when we return to the FCSAA Sports YouTube channel. Taylor Lane leads off for Northwest Florida, swings at the first pitch, hits it out to Matthew Rhodes in center. Rhodes pulls it in for the out. Well, one thing you probably don't want to be doing if you're Northwest Florida is cutting at the first pitch. You need base runners. You need to try to work some counts, get Tolkien out of the game. You get into that bullpen of St. John's River. It's a pretty good bullpen, don't get me wrong. But right now, Andy Tolkien is having his way with Northwest Florida's batters. Giving up just 4 hits so far through 6 1/3 innings. And 1-1 now to number 4, Mike Salvatore. Salvatore 1 for 2. Grounded out to the pitcher in the second and then singled in the 5th. That one he fouls off his foot. Doesn't feel good. Says he's all right. Well, if Northwest doesn't hang on, or can't fight back, if St. John's doesn't hang on, it's going to be an uphill battle for Coach Doug Martin and the Raiders to try to repeat as champions. That one grounded to second. Villeman, sliding play, throws across for the out. Tell you what, up the middle, St. John's is tough. Villeman at second, Owens at short, and Matthew Rhodes at center, and it's where you want to be your strongest up the middle defense. And that is where they have some gloves. And they have shown them off today. Rhodes hasn't had to make a whole ton of plays out there in center field, just some pretty routine ones, but the infielders, Owens and Villeman, have made Villeman now a sliding and a diving play, and Owens, well, just go back and watch the game. If you're a family member or a friend of Nick Owens, you're probably going to want to keep this link somewhere, because he's 4 for 4 so far and has made 3 or 4 really nice defensive plays. Probably want to slap this together as a highlight tape and send it to some coaches, because heck of a game by the freshman shortstop. Owens out of Charlotte, North Carolina, went to Charlotte Christian. Swing and a miss, off speed from Tolkien. That ball low and away. Now 3-2. Well, the state of Florida with 4 teams ranked in the top 20 in the NJCAA. St. John's River, one of them at number 9. There's a fly ball out to left field. The left fielder camps underneath it, and Alec Dowell pulls it in for the 3rd out. We're going to the bottom of the 7th. St. John's River still leading by a score of 8-1. First pitch from Cameron Sanders to Nick Kozlowski for a strike to start the bottom half of the 7th inning. I'm Scott Jamieson here with you from Henley Field, historic Henley Field in Lakeland, Florida. Home stadium of Florida Southern Moccasins, 10-time NCAA Division II national champions. Off speed, just fouled off by Kozlowski, 1-2. Their last championship coming in 2005, so they're due. I watched them play a little bit last night. They won 15-10 over St. Leo. The ball was flying out of the yard. It was actually 2-1 when Tyler and I got here in the 6th inning, and it ended up 15-10. It was unbelievable. Thank you again to Kelly Warren, Bing Tyus, Bill Hamilton, Sarah Shira, who's on the camera, Tyler Allen, everyone doing a great job on these broadcasts. We appreciate you tuning in. Two-two pitch coming to Kozlowski. Just gets a piece. Kozlowski, the designated hitter, 0 for 3. Grounded into a double play, grounded out to second, and popped out to third base. One of the few Vikings, who have not reached base. Shortstop glides underneath that one and makes the play. Mike Salvatore catches that one in fair territory for the first out. So Kozlowski now 0 for 4.
Brings up the right fielder, number 2, Wes Weeks.
And now Wes Weeks will bat. Weeks grounded out to short in the second inning, then doubled an RBI double in the fourth, then walked and scored in the sixth. Stole a base as well. Laces that one down the line, foul. Breaking pitch just misses inside. Weeks thought he was going to wear that one, and it broke all the way. A little bit inside, Tyler. Close. Fouled off now, 1-2. Well, the St. Pete College Titans have arrived. College of Central Florida Patriots probably not going to be too far behind them. There's a breaking pitch in there for a strike. Weeks turns and says a little something to the umpire. We'll take a look at it here in a second. It looked like a pretty good pitch. I mean, it may have been inside, but it's a tough pitch to take 1-2, and you got to give the pitcher credit. That's a wicked curveball. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a strike. Just saw the replay. Just a good pitch. 2-0 now to Matthew Rhodes, the center fielder. Rhodes was hit by a pitch back in the fourth, reached on a fielder's choice in the sixth and scored, and flew out back all the way back in the second, and now is ahead in the count, 3-0. That one hits him on the elbow. So he's been hit by 2 pitches now. He does stand awfully close to the plate. And I'm trying to see how many pitches he was hit by during the season. That's his 11th now.
Batter for the Vikings is the catcher, number 7, Harlan Harris.
Well, it doesn't feel good. I'd be upset too. Harlan Harris now batting. Harris 0 for 3. Couple strikeouts. High heat, swing and a miss by Harris, now 0-2. Rhodes at first after the walk. St. John's has done a lot of damage with 2 outs and a couple times with nobody on. And then they've started to manufacture some stuff and gotten some runs home. Stringing together hits and walks and making some things happen with 2 outs. That's what you've got to do in a tournament like this. You have to get big 2-out hits. You have to play good defense. Have to execute. Can't make too many errors. Can't make base running blunders. St. John's River's played about as complete of a game as you can up until this point. We'll see if they can continue that for the rest of the game. Runner goes. Monica, strong throw, but on the wrong side of the bag. Safe, a stolen base. Second stolen base. No, first for Rhodes, excuse me. Weak, says the other one. I'll run around there in scoring position. So can they do it again with 2 outs? Grounded to first, waits back on the hop. Good play by the first baseman for the out. So we'll go to the top of the 8th. Northwest Florida's got to make something happen quickly if they want to get back into this game. They trail 8-1. You're watching Game 2 of the 2016 FCSAA State Tournament right here from historic Henley Field in Lakeland, Florida. Now we're back at Henley Field in Lakeland, Florida. Scott Jamieson with you. And we've got an 8-1 ball game. St. John's River leading. Andy Tolkien still out there on the hill for the Vikings, and he's pitched a wonderful game so far. And he has, see, I'm counting up his strikeouts here. Only has 3 strikeouts, but with the defense that's been behind him, he hasn't needed to strike a lot of guys out between Owens and Villeman and Rhodes and Weeks and all those guys out there that have just been making defensive play after defensive play, making things easier. And as a pitcher, when you know your defense has your back like that, you're going to throw more strikes, and you're going to feel more confident throwing strikes, and you're going to be willing to put a few more closer to the zone, because you know if they put it in play, your guys are probably going to make a play on it. And right now, Tolkien extremely confident out there throwing a lot of strikes, and there's one right there to start off the 8th inning. That's Ross Goforth, pinch hitter. So Goforth hitting for Luft, who was pitching, and then there was a relief pitcher in Sanders who came in. Off the end of the bat, over towards the northwest dugout. 1-2 now to Ross Goforth. Goforth, a .229 hitter, 3 home runs, 15 RBI. Two-two pitch now to Goforth. Nobody on, nobody out. Here in the top of the 8th, Goforth leading off for the Raiders, who trail 8-1. And strike 3 called on Goforth.
Brings up the right fielder, number 42, Jaron Pinckney.
Now Jaron Pinckney will bat. Pinckney with 8 home runs. Today he's 0 for 2. He flew out to right and struck out. Pitch in there for a strike. Fouled back, now 1-2. Tolkien again ahead in the count. No surprise there. Tolkien has been really on top of his game here today, and that's what you ask out of your number 1 starter when you get to the state tournament. Very little room for error. It's not often that the number 1 team comes in here and wins this tournament. There's so many good ones. It has happened, of course, and will happen again, but it's the team that's playing the best. And if it's any indication, St. John's River does not look like they missed a beat from the end of the regular season. That pitch was inside, but called a strike on the inside corner. Strike 3 looking, back-to-back called looking. And it's just not been Northwest Florida's day thus far.
Next batter is the center fielder, number 10, Matt Hathcock.
Well, we appreciate you tuning in and watching this broadcast on YouTube. We'll be broadcasting every game of the tournament from right here at historic Henley Field. I'll give you a little outlook on what's to come. Coming up a half hour after this game, the College of Central Florida and St. Petersburg College will be playing their round 1 game. And then after that one, Santa Fe, the number 1 team in all the land, will be playing Eastern Florida State College. The winner of this game, that one to Villaman. Villaman over to first. That's the end of the inning. The winner of this game will play Polk State College tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. The loser of this game will play Broward College tomorrow at 4 p.m. in an elimination game. We will be back with the bottom of the 8th. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the FCSAA tournament right here on YouTube. Back at historic Henley Field, Scott Jamieson with you here in game number 2. St. John's River State College leads 8-1 over Northwest Florida. The defending national champions are going to have to
Leading off for St. John's River State,
pull a rabbit out of the hat in the 9th inning.
Cole
First order of business is to hold it at 8-1. Pitching now for Northwest Florida is Brayson Smith, number 34. Yes, there is a 10-run rule that is in effect after 7 innings. So if somehow St. John's were to get 3, this game would be over. Fouled back again, now 0-2. Brayson Smith, a 4.25 ERA, 4-1. This is his 16th appearance. Strikes out about a batter an inning, 29.2 innings, 29 strikeouts. 19 walks, so a little bit erratic. That one not erratic at all. A nice breaking ball in there. Nice pitch by Brayson Smith. And so far, so good for the Raiders relief pitcher. That was Cole Perry who struck out. That was his 3rd strikeout of the day. He's 0 for 4.
Second baseman, number 6, Omar Villaman.
Omar Villaman will now bat back to the top of the order. Villaman is 2 for 4. A couple runs scored and a double. Also a pair of RBI. The game was still 4-1. Villaman was batting, and there was a base open. They chose to pitch to him with a righty on deck, and he doubled down the line. I didn't think that they should have intentionally walked him because they had Nick Owens, who ended up getting a hit anyways, behind him. But I thought they should have been a little bit more careful with him, like maybe what they just did right there with nobody on and 1 out. Now Owens will bat.
Brings up number 3, shortstop, Nick Owens.
Throw over. Owens working on a 4 for 4 day. He'd love to make it 5 for 5. Breaking pitch in there for a strike. Now 0-2 to Owens. So ahead in the count is Brayson Smith. Smith trying to keep it right there at 8-1 and hope his teammates can maybe pull something out and get a big inning in the 9th. We'll see if we see Andy Tolkien come out and try to get a complete game. That one hit, and 5 for 5, an 0-2 pitch. Nick Owens just reaches out and taps it to right, and he is 5 for 5. 5 singles. What a day. What an afternoon for Nick Owens. Not much more you can say.
Brings up the 3rd baseman, number 23, Hunter Alexander.
And now Hunter Alexander will bat. He's doubled in back-to-back at bats. He's 2 for 4. Runs scored, RBI. 2 RBI. First pitch down and away in the dirt, ball 1. Alexander ready. 1-0 count. Runners at first and second. That's Villaman at second. Owens at first. Breaking ball strike. Owens just picked up his 5th hit on an 0-2 pitch that he just tapped out to right. Hit it between the first and second baseman. It was a really nice piece of hitting. Two 2-1 pitch now. Alexander takes inside 3-1. Runners go, and Alexander hits a bomb. Game over. That'll do it, folks. That is your ball game. Hunter Alexander, his last 3 at-bats look like this. RBI double, 3-run homer. How's that for a day? St. John's wins 11-1, and they win it in emphatic fashion. Hunter Alexander just exploded on that pitch. He was waiting for it. He was looking for something to drive. He jumped on it. Pitching has been a problem at times for Northwest Florida. It came back to bite them a little bit today. They couldn't get the bats going against Andy Tolkien, who pitched a complete game, 8 innings. And 11-1 victory for St. John's River. Put it in the books. St. John's advances on. They will play Polk State tomorrow at 10 a.m. In a half hour, College of Central Florida and St. Pete. We want to thank you for watching. Nick Owens, 5 for 5. Hunter Alexander, 3 for 5, 2 doubles and a home run. Andy Tolkien picks up the win. St. John's River, winners 11-1. They will advance on, and Northwest Florida will fall down into the losers bracket to take on Broward tomorrow at 4 p.m. It's going to do it from here. My name's Scott Jamison. I appreciate you tuning in and watching. On behalf of myself, Tyler Allen, Kelly Warren with the FCSAA, we're going to sign off, but we'll be back in a half hour for St. Pete and Central Florida.